What's good, lunatics? So I've already talked about the Nintendo Switch Lite and the games that you should be avoiding on that console. Now, I want to talk about the games that you should be playing, and I wanted to focus on the types of games that'll give you the best experience on handheld systems. Because as we know, the Nintendo Switch Lite, it's handheld only. You can't dock it, you can't play it on a big screen TV, and so some concessions have to be made when it comes to what games you consider. For reasons that I talked about in my other video, make sure to check that out as well. I think when it comes to a console like the Nintendo Switch Lite, one of the primary focuses should be, in my opinion, to focus on games that you can play in quick bursts, put it away and return back to it in its same state and not feel too lost or confused in the process. Honestly, you need only look at the top selling and highest rated games on the Nintendo 3DS to give yourself an idea of the types of games that'll work on the Nintendo Switch Lite. If you hadn't had yourself a portable console in a very long time, if you're coming from a Nintendo 3DS to a Nintendo Switch Lite, I want to frame some things so you have an idea of, what direction you should be heading in. So today I'm going to be focused on 5 different genres. These 5 different genres I feel are perfectly suited for portable consoles and perfectly suited for a portable console like the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now, of course, I'm just one man doing some research of my own. I'm not saying they're the only games, the definitive games that you should buy in those categories, but they are fantastic games, in my opinion, that you should kind of frame your mind towards. And so I'm gonna pose to you the question of the day. What are some games that you would suggest for the Nintendo Switch Lite that you think would be perfect for a portable system like the Nintendo Switch Lite? Just watch my video, see all the games that I talk about, and figure out what games I didn't talk about, and let me know what you think those games are in the comment section below, because obviously there are like over 1,500 games for the Nintendo Switch. I'm not gonna name all the games, and there are probably some great games that I haven't even played yet. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments below. So let me lay out to you the 5 different genres of games that I think are perfect for portable consoles. First off, we've got action games, then we've got RPGs, we've got puzzle games, we've got resource management games, and of course, we've got indie games. These are the games you want to look at. And of course, I'll leave links to all of these games in the description below. All right, so I'm gonna start off with a heavy hitter, and that is Splatoon 2. Now, we all know about Splatoon 2. It's a fantastic game. It's a game that you need to have on your Nintendo Switch Lite. If you're a fan of shooters, if you're a fan of action games, it is a perfect game to have on a portable console. You can be laying in bed, playing online against the world, wherever you are. But of course, if you don't happen to have a connection nearby, if you're traveling or whatever the case may be, you do have the single player mode as well, which is fantastic. But of course, multiplayer is where it's at. So you definitely want to be connected online to enjoy some of those matches. Another game I'm gonna bring up is The World Ends With You Final Remix. This is a game that happens to work better in handheld mode than it does when docked on a TV, because when docked on a TV, you have to use the motion controls and whatnot. I think the handheld version of the game is far superior. If you've never played The World Ends With You game, it's basically like an action role-playing game set in Tokyo. I think it's a very fun game, and like I said, when you have it docked, you have to use the motion controls, which is not fun. Handheld mode is the way to go with The World Ends With You. I mean, the game was originally designed to use touchscreen controls, and of course, you have the touchscreen on the Nintendo Switch Lite versus having to use Joy-Con. It's pretty much a no-brainer to me. I think it's a game that people should play at least once. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And of course, there's Smash Ultimate. Now, what do I really have to say about Smash Ultimate? It's Smash Ultimate. Of course, you should have this game for your Nintendo Switch, and it should be great on Nintendo Switch Lite. No, you're not gonna all huddle around a big screen with the same console, but if you do have a group of friends and they all have their own Switch, of course, you can all huddle around and enjoy the game together on your own Switches. Plus, the game is also enjoyable by yourself as well. Definitely should be in your collection. There's also Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necro Dancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. It's a big title. I think I got it right. I love this game, and I played this game completely in handheld mode. It's one of those games that its art style lends well to it being a handheld game. It's not a game that when you blow up on a big screen is gonna look fantastic. I mean, the art style is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but some people aren't a fan of big, huge pixels on the screen. But regardless of that, it's a fantastic game that I think should be in everyone's Nintendo Switch collection. It plays beautifully handheld. It's a fun rhythm-based game as well, so it's a little tricky to get into. It has a learning curve, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. And if you haven't heard of the Shantae series of games, I definitely recommend checking it out. You got Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. You've also got Shantae Half Genie Hero. Both games on the Nintendo Switch. Great 2D platforming games, fantastic art styles. I'm always a fan of 2D platformers on handheld devices. I think that's just the way to go. Yeah, definitely check that out. And another game that you definitely should check out is Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. This is a game I think should be on everyone's Nintendo Switch. I think I've put in close to 100 hours on this game. They released it alongside the Nintendo 3DS version. It also originally came out back on the Wii U. I think it was made, in my opinion, for a handheld system. It's got these little bite-sized levels that you can dig into and try to solve. It's a perfect game when you're like on a train or a bus, you have like a very short ride, but you want to get in some gameplay, and you feel fulfilled. It's one of those games, super fun. And if you're a fan of puzzle problem-solving games, another game I'd recommend to you is Lumines Remastered. This game came out way back in the day on the PSP, I think it was, and I played countless hours of it. It's a fantastic puzzle Tetris-like game. Not quite Tetris, it has its own unique elements that I really enjoy. If you kind of just want to empty your mind and enjoy yourself a puzzle game, I would definitely push you in that direction. Or also you can play one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch. Anybody who's added me on the Nintendo Switch knows it's one of my favorite games. If you haven't added me on the Nintendo Switch, feel free to do so. My friend code is in the description. But that is the Picross S series on the Nintendo Switch. I love Picross. It is my go-to game when I just want to just empty my mind, not think about much, just focus on playing a puzzle game. I have put hundreds and hundreds of hours into the Picross S series of games, and I think there are 4, and there's a 5th Picross S game coming to the Nintendo Switch this year. There was already a Picross S3 just came out recently, and of course you have the original Picross S and Picross S2, and you had also the Komodo Friends Picross game. All fantastic games, highly recommended game from me. Another game you should consider as well is Box Boy and Box Girl. This is a fun game. Now this game does support you playing on the same screen together with your partner, but you can play this game completely solo. I've been playing it solo. It's really fun. It gets progressively more challenging as it goes on, obviously, and you're just trying to lead your box boy through the different levels. Another game you can play on a bus, you can play on a train, you can play on a plane, wherever, and just crush a few levels. And I can't not talk about the premier puzzle game on the Nintendo Switch that everybody should have. That's Tetris 99. This is like a Tetris battle royale game where you can compete against 99 other Tetris players to try to be the one sole survivor. It is a super fun puzzle game that truly challenges your skills as a Tetris player. I have yet to win a Tetris battle royale game, and I think I'm actually pretty decent at Tetris. There's also an offline mode as well, so you can play standard Tetris or you can play against the computer. Yeah, I definitely recommend Tetris 99. But now, if you're into more strategy-based games, I've got to recommend this game. If you haven't played it yet, it's been out for a while, but if you haven't played it yet, definitely check it out. And that is Civilization 6. This is a turn-based strategy game, super popular. I know folk who have put hundreds and hundreds of hours into Civ 6. It's one of those games that's not for everybody, but if turn-based strategy is your thing, it's one of those games that I feel is a must-have if you haven't already played it. And another must-have, in my opinion, is also a classic turn-based strategy franchise, and that is Fire Emblem Three Houses. This is brand new to the Nintendo Switch, and it brings story-based and turn-based gameplay together to create this unique story, this unique take on the Fire Emblem franchise. Fire Emblem can be an unforgiving game though, so if you aren't used to the Fire Emblem series and you're jumping into it, I'm warning you now. But it's also a pretty fun franchise. It's a slow-paced franchise, so you can be working on the battle for a good 20 minutes to an hour, depending on how you strategize and how well you strategize. But if you want like a lighter turn-based strategy game, you don't want to get that deep into turn-based strategy like on Fire Emblem or Civ 6, I definitely recommend one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This is a turn-based, puzzle-based game that you can play in short bursts. Because it's turn-based, you can get right back into it whenever you feel like. The art style on this game is fantastic. It's one of the best looking games on the Nintendo Switch. Don't at me, it's beautiful. And of course, any Square Enix turn-based games are pretty much perfect for the Nintendo Switch Lite. But in particular, I gotta talk about Octopath Traveler, a fantastic game. In my opinion, the premier turn-based Square Enix game on the Nintendo Switch. One of the most visually stunning games on the Nintendo Switch, or pretty much any console. I love that 2D, 3D art style, and of course the 8 different perspectives you can play the game from. Easily a game you can spend a couple hundred hours in. And of course, you can't mention RPGs, you can't mention turn-based games and not mention one of Nintendo's premier franchises, period. And that is, of course, Pokemon. You already got games out like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Great games that reimagine the first Pokemon games, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. And you've also got the upcoming Pokemon Sword and Shield. Pokemon was built on the back of being a handheld game, so of course it's gonna be perfect for a console like the Nintendo Switch Lite. That's like a no-brainer. Plus with Pokemon Let's Go, you can import like all of your Pokemon from previous Pokemon games and from Pokemon Go, you know, the app, the iPhone app, definitely worth it in my opinion. And also there's another genre of games outside of RPGs, outside of action games and puzzle games that require you you to manage your resources very well and use them to frame the story that is being told in the game that you play. I'm talking about games like Prison Architect, where you get to design your own prison and all that type of stuff. You've got games like Game Developer Story, where you're pretty much a game developer and you're trying to run your whole team of developers to create games and, of course, become a successful developer and build a bigger and bigger business. It's a great game. You've also got The Escapist, a fantastic game, a game where you're trying to break out of prison. Huh? You go from being a prison architect to a game developer to breaking out of prison. That's great. I thoroughly enjoyed The Escapist. Super fun game. Another super fun game is Stardew Valley. Perfect for a portable console. It's funny because this game originally came out on like PlayStation 4 and Xbox, these TV-based consoles, and I always felt like from day one, why isn't this a handheld game again? I don't understand. This is meant to be a handheld game. This is one of those joints you want to pop out on your bag when you have some downtime just to make sure your crops are right, make sure you watered everything, you know, pick your fruit. Stardew Valley is a must-have in my opinion. And like Prison Architect and Game Developer Story and Escapist, it's got an art style that lends well to being portable. It's got the pixel-based 2D-based art style that I think just looks beautiful on a handheld system. And I can't not talk about this next game. You've gotta pick up Super Mario Maker 2. This, of course, allows you to create and to play user-created Mario levels. We're talking hundreds, thousands, if not tens of thousands of different types of levels you can play that were created by players just like you, from simple and fun levels to the most challenging levels you will ever play. Super Mario Maker 2 allows you to create to your heart's content, and they give you the resources to create levels that you wouldn't even like imagine on a standard like Super Mario game. If you're into customizing, if you're into playing other people's customizations, this is a must-have on your Nintendo Switch. And then we have those games that were built by not the biggest companies in the world, but by small development teams. I'm talking indie development teams. These could be teams of 10, 20 people, or it could be a team of 1 or 2, but they're fantastic games nonetheless. I'm talking about games like Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. I mention this game a lot on my channel because I have thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of it. It's got beautiful art direction, super fun ragdoll-esque gameplay, hilarious storyline at times, and I also think Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2 came out as well. Huge recommendation from me. And another big recommendation comes from my homie Destiny Fomo, who recommended to me Undertale. This is an indie RPG game with such a unique and varied visual art style. It's one of the highest rated games on the Nintendo Switch, perfectly suited in my opinion for handheld play. It's also one of those games when you look at footage, you're like, is it really that good? But when you play it, it's like, wow, it's really that good. It's easily one of those games you can sleep on and completely miss out on a fantastic game. And another game you shouldn't sleep on is Hollow Knight. For one, it's gorgeous, but also it is a fantastic Metroidvania style game that has you going through these underground different places. It's super dope and incredibly challenging at times as well. If you die, you didn't find a way to make use of your resources that you found along the way, it becomes super frustrating. But it's one of those games that you're gonna have super fond memories of. And if you're into super challenging games, if you like to challenge yourself, if you like games that make you want to throw your controller against the wall, don't throw your Switch against the wall, by the way. Probably won't end well. I definitely recommend checking out Celeste. Now, Celeste is a super difficult platforming game that challenges even the most dexterous of players. We're talking accuracy down to like the pixel level on some of these harder levels, but it's also a fantastic game with a very fun story, unique art style, and of course, it is perfect for a console like the Nintendo Switch Lite, and also perfect for a console like the Nintendo Switch Lite is the oh so infamous game Dead Cells. Now, the game is infamous not at its own fault, it's infamous for other reasons I'm not going to get into, but it also should be known for its fantastic gameplay and at times super challenging gameplay. You got your procedurally generated levels. It's a game that as you play over and over again opens itself up to a grander, more vast and varied world. It's also a game you will die a lot in as well when you first start playing, but as you begin to unlock different attributes and skills, the world is your oyster at that point, and you can challenge yourself to time trials and daily challenges and things of that nature long after your 100th hour on the game. All of these games I named I feel are perfectly suited for the Nintendo Switch Lite, and the fun part is they all bring something different to the console. And no, while I didn't mention games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, these games I feel are fantastic and are perfectly suited, in many ways better suited as handheld games than they are as games to play on a big screen. This month, I'm giving away a copy of the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy with game controller, all thanks to my homie Destiny Fomo. Shouts out to her. And all you have to do to enter for a chance to win is answer the question of the day in the comments below and head on over to tuanx.com and join the Lunatics. That's the only way to find out if you won and to claim your prize. Oh, and you also get a discount code so you can get one of these, you know, cool little shirts and whatnot. Link is in the description below, and remember to stay crazy. Go.
to know.